mass shootings, that's when he shot him.
Is there a video? Can you post
200 yards?
You guys did not see the video? That was the first
Yeah,
video.
go ahead. Let King. King is back. Go ahead, King.
Yeah, I get it. Like, no, this has absolutely nothing to do with the Black community and this man's assassination. It's just that, like, and I've been telling this to the conservative rooms because, it's really a lot of scapegoating and finger pointing and all of this, even though we don't even really know who the shooter was, right? The shooter they said that the suspect is still at large, but a bullet can have any of us at any time and our children. And I think that it was unfortunate, again, is that instead of being open or willing to talk about whether or not as a country we're going to keep doing the same fucking thing that we did yesterday, after all of the kids being shot, after all of the, they said that they found like 32 guns on a 13-year-old and he was plotting to shoot up a motherfucking school. Like, in spite of all of that, we want to, or they want to use this as an opportunity to big up their chest to get the nerve to jump bad on society, and I think that it's a shame. And, but yeah, any one of us could get it. I'm going to a concert tonight. People gotta have this at the back of their mind when they go anywhere public, really, that it can be over tomorrow. So with that in mind, yeah, I'm not jumping for, like, this is not a victory for anybody. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, right? Because this is what America is in this day, and this is what we refuse to confront. This is our life. This is our life right now, and we need to all just kind of get a grip with that.
Yeah, like I'm seeing a lot of people. If y'all can remember Malcolm X's speech when he was like, "If the house burning down, the house Negro will fight harder than the master to put the house fire out." While the field Negro sitting back there looking and laughing.
We sick, son? We sick?
Said a lot of house Negro type shit going on, but go crazy.
Your kids aren't being shot, Ray. Like, what am I hearing? Are you saying that Black kids aren't being shot every day? I'm trying to understand.
The irony about Malcolm X is that he couldn't engage in the kind of activism that King and others were engaging in because Elijah Muhammad had a leash on him. So it was a lot of words, and as a lot of times, and this is no fault of Malcolm's, it was only words.
We can move on because ain't no way I'm gonna do this one with
Elijah Muhammad.
Don't take the bait. Don't take the bait.
There's no bait.
Oh my
God.
God.
So we move on. We're gonna move on.
I think it's right to move on, but let's not evoke Malcolm.
Yeah, so shut up.
Here.
Yeah, so shut up.
Okay, all right. Okay. Yeah, so listen, I'm just saying let's not evoke Malcolm as if it's applicable here.
You know what? Fuck that articulate. I'm sorry. Elijah Muhammad was holding him back from political activity.
Exactly.
Unless you don't know history. So invoking Malcolm is exactly what we need to be doing. I'm sorry.
I mean, for me, and Jack, I agree with that first part. I just don't think that Charlie Kirk is that important to be evoking Malcolm.
I was just using it as.
Oh, this is that new type of.
Exactly.
It's not exactly Black. If you're Black and you're speaking on issues that don't have much to do with you, my recommendation was to say nothing. My recommendation was to reflect on what Malcolm would say, not to say what Malcolm would say. What you don't do is go out here and start just crying for somebody that wouldn't ever shed a tear for you. It's not some business. That was the argument. But you want to use that. You want to use that to shit on Malcolm X. I am smart. That's why I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. So, but you should know the difference. It's not about him, bro.
There's nobody in here that you're talking about. Name the people you're talking about. They're not here. Stop talking about Black people that aren't here celebrating. They're not here.
Dr. Articulate, you don't have to let them land, or you need to go to the audience.
Okay, I'll go to the audience and do me like Malcolm did, I guess.
You're not Malcolm.
I'm just words, right?
Audience, like you said.
No, we treat
Don't nobody
like
bring them back
Temptations. Don't nobody see you.
I actually brought it back. I won't bring it back in this. But yeah, just to say, it's not about Charlie Kirk. I could give a rat's ass about Charlie Kirk. That's all I'm telling you. It's like we shouldn't be so emotionally invested that we're happy that a race got killed. We just should not care. It's about indifference. That's the true form of showing that this type of stuff does not affect you. I don't care that he died. I'm not hurt that he died, and it doesn't affect me in any way whatsoever. We didn't win the Powerball, y'all. Like, we didn't win nothing. We're still in the same position we were before he got killed. There's no moral victories in life.
But that's not.
That's a fact.
If all races disappeared tomorrow, we wouldn't be celebrating that.
Do you actually feel that you can eradicate race? Do you actually feel that you can eradicate the racist population of the earth? Is that actually a serious question?
It was a very serious question that nobody answered.
You don't need racists for the system to keep working. It's a false premise. The question is, it's a false premise.
So for me, like, Charlie Kirk is not a politically organizing kind. His death is not something that we organize around politically, and I don't even think that his death brings about a certain kind of political awakening that would protect our communities more, that would allow us to actually, have our communities do important shit for Black folks, right? So, like, for me, it's not about being emotionally invested in Charlie Kirk, but it is to say that, like, when we have random acts of political violence like this, we should be deeply concerned. And for me, like, I think people are creating these straw mans about us, like, shedding tears for a racist guy. No, it's about really being like, we're in a political climate right now where folks like who's to say that this couldn't happen to, for example, Breonna Joy Gray if she's giving a talk, right? If like a retaliation doesn't happen like that. My point is that we need to be very careful about how we understand this moment where folks are getting hit for their political views. For me, a better way to eliminate the racists and folks like Charlie Kirk is not by shooting them, but it's about actually creating a world in which they cannot even thrive or exist. It's not about engaging in political violence like this.
Well, I don't think that any of us are engaging in any political violence.
I wouldn't say. I'm not saying.
And it sounds like respectability politics to me.
What?
That we're supposed to somehow take this higher road. I mean,
it's not a higher road. It's about strategy.
Well, that shit reeks of how we
That's
got
a
here.
strategy. Higher road.
That shit reeks of how we got here in the first place.
Correct.
And part of the part of the danger in some of that is that, to assume that if we act like good little Negroes, they're going to hate us less, which is bullshit. Our people had to learn that the hard way. We thought that when we dressed up in suits and when we went to church and when we did this and did that, until our 4 little girls were killed at that.
Yeah, but nobody.
And what happened in Chicago? What happened in Chicago?
If I could just land. So no matter what the fuck we do, it doesn't change that trajectory. We've seen it, we've witnessed it. So to think otherwise is actually.
So what happened in Chicago?
Medgar Evers tried the same thing, and he ended up.
Yeah. So what happened in Chicago?
Going down the list.
So let's talk about what happened in Chicago when Dr. King organized gang members who engaged in nonviolence to actually bring an end to housing discrimination in Chicago, or at least try to, right? So y'all can quote these convenient moments in history, but my point is that like it's not a matter of whether you care about the person or not. It's about what's an effective political strategy. And I don't think, I don't even know who this guy who killed Charlie Kirk is affiliated with politically. But to trying to jump on this as if it's like an effective political strategy for me is premature at best.
But do you think that and this for people who feel on both ends, do you think that sometimes just as when these type of situations, we could just give each other grace? Like I don't necessarily feel all the way the way you feel, Black Freedom, but I don't really feel, I guess, all the way as somebody else. Like, I don't know. I haven't really decided how I feel. I don't care really or whatever, but I don't know. And I think that we are so quick to call each other coons when we have different opinions on stuff like this. And I don't think it has to go there. It's like we almost have more smoke for each other than the situation that happened. That's really we kind of on the outside looking in. So like I think we should have more grace for how we feel as Black people about it. That's just my opinion.
Well, then that should also include not encouraging others to feel the way that they feel.
Absolutely, I agree. I agree with that too.
We're having a discussion.
And I didn't know that we were having a political strategy in this moment. I thought this was just basically a reaction. It just happened literally within the last few hours. So it's not as if we're mobilizing. We're just having a conversation.
Exactly.
Right, but exactly, we're not mobilizing. Like, this is what I'm saying. It's just another fucking day. It's just another fucking day. We're not doing nothing but yapping like we did yesterday.
Well, that's kind of what people do on Clubhouse. If I'm mobilizing and strategizing, it's not on here.
That's a fact.
I think y'all missing my point though, but go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think it's par for the course that if emotionally triggering events happen, I think people of color especially need a moratorium before they get into the people trying to morally police them and emotionally police them and telling them how they need to respond and treating Black people as they're like mechanical bulls. Like if something happens worthy of our attention and time, and we speak on it, and it just happened 30 minutes ago, can we give it 24 hours before we say, here's the emotional strategy of how you Black people should